Supreme. You know, so like all the true learning experiences that are not based off ego, like the ones you sit back and you collect because you pay attention, and the ones divine allow you to speak on, it's basically showing you what we fell at, right? How we fell away from divinity. So it's like a learning experience for the people outside. Like, it ain't for everybody to say, oh shit, that's what they talking about. That's not what it's for. It's for you to understand that's a hole or something to slip into. So if you slip into that energy, you possibly gonna lose your footing or your pathway. The atmosphere is always prepped for the right particular energy, right? But when we have failed situations, I mean, like kinks in the armor, people who don't get it, you know what I'm saying? They think that it's secrets. And the more you stay in tune to the divine, you start tapping into frequencies that wrap the whole planet. You know what I'm saying? You can see, you know what I mean? And a lot of people think, oh, if I can't do this, I can't do that, then I can't get through life. Well, those lacks is like giving you the ability to grow other things, to see other things. And not for nothing, that's where a lot of people don't really get divine energy at. And don't be out here listening to these people talking about God said this and God mad at you. Do y'all see any podcasts or TV things pop up and they like chosen? Don't pay attention to none of them, because the people don't know what the hell they be talking about. Yo, like they like walk in blasphemy. For real, for real. Like, don't pay that no attention. But just know, like, when you in tune with the divine, yo, and you really listening to that first thought, it's training you to be able to see and feel on all scales. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if you could see every pore in your body, like every space that the follicles and the hair come out of. Like, if you could just see it like up close, like a magnifying glass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's eyes all over you, and they're not the type of eyes you use, but they feel and they see things the way their function is set up. I'm not gonna get too scientific, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is each and every individual, right, has an option to be of service to the divine, no matter what you look like. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your will. You have to sacrifice the validation of anything egotistical, like the want to be accepted, the want to be right, the want to, I'm the one, you know what I'm saying? Like all that I, me shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to sacrifice that. And once you start talking these things into existence, it's going to give you the option to do that. It's going to test and see if you're ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people not ready for it. That's why I don't come clean like that. Like, that's why they keep getting trapped up in bullshit. Like, and they think like, yo, nobody ain't seen me say this or do that. Nah, you wear that shit on your flesh, yo. Nobody got to see you. You like a tuning fork. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody done thumped that negative tuning fork and that shit vibrating everywhere. Like, woo, woo, woo. You see it. You can feel it. You ain't got to be around them. You can feel it. And that goes to knowing how in tune you are with shit. Other people, they got to do other things to make you in tune with them. They got to go run and lie and tell and bring words and talk this and manipulate and be there at the right time and say this after somebody. They got to do a whole bunch of dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not a part. You know what I'm saying? You're not a part. That's why I used to say shit like when we was in school. If you was like wanting to be cool if you wasn't already. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wanted to be a part of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people was just the shit. And they didn't care who, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't care. So, it's that type of energy even with divine. That gonna fly wanna die. That's what he want. He keep fucking with me right now. Don't try to hide. I'll smash him. Anyway. It be that type of energy. So you know when you in tune with the divine. You know what I mean? That's why you be quiet. That's why you don't gotta really say much. Even if things is happening around you, don't put focus on it. Don't be like, oh, this is what's going on in the world. Nothing's going on in the world. Nothing. It's nothing. Like you put value on it. That's what makes it something. Your attention. I keep telling you, spend energy on shit. You spend your energy on, oh my God, that's nice. I like that. Oh my God, this is bad. Ooh, look what they said. You're spending your energy on it. Once you understand what I'm telling you in full totality, it ain't going to work like that. It's going to change because you're going to understand how these things are ciphering around. And when a mind doesn't know what it's doing, it's constantly spending its energy on something. You know what I'm saying? It's constantly spending its energy on something. It's like spin, spin, spin. And you can watch people who like that. You could be like, look at them. They mad. They spending their attention on that. Look at them. They running to do this. They running to do that. They got to go say this. They got to go say that. You can watch people spend their energy on mad shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you in tune with certain people, you fuck with them like that, you can watch them come to you like that. You can watch them just spending their energy. You know what I'm saying? You be like, damn, why you spending your energy on that? You know what I'm saying? Like, the observer is watching what the creation is. The creation is supposed to be entailed into the universal characteristics. So the universal characteristics are only of the divine. So a lot of times, and see, I ain't really want to do this because it's going like, it has to focus on certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, where people be getting all these particular understandings about shit, like, that's not divine. Like, y'all be walking around here talking about don't do this and don't do that, and this gonna stop this and this gonna block that, and this how they can make you stop talking, and this how you could lose this. That's not almighty. That's not almighty, yo. Almighty is just what it is. It's almighty. Period. And you're learning how to be that in full totality in the flesh. So only certain ones who know that they're connected to the Almighty is walking that way. So if we're going to go into the breakdown of this is why it's a war between men and women. Whether y'all want to face it or not, the light was direction, yo. And somewhere in the characteristic of men, it was that calmness that, yo, even as a child, you felt like there's nothing in the world can stop you. Felt like you could do anything as a child until you started seeing that not to be true, or until whatever you believed in started letting you down as a man. Then you got to keep in mind that concept, right? The direction, which is the force from the Almighty, like if it's coming from wherever the Almighty center is, and it's flowing across the universe, it has a wave in front of it. That wave is the ether being rolled from the heat of the Almighty, and it's coalescing, it's slowing down. So through its transformations from being nothing to waking up into something, then being flung as a wave across the whole universe, the whole galaxy, and then being injected with divine light to become animated. That thing went through a lot of characteristic traits. It went through a lot of, I don't know what's going on. I'm not strong, I'm weak, I'm made, I'm living, I'm here, I'm dead, I'm awake, I'm a creator, you know what I'm saying? Like, it went through so many things, and the whole time as this wave was getting pushed across the universe, the direction, the light was right behind it. Like, don't worry about it. It'll be all right. Just until you cool down. When you cool down, I'm right here to, you know what I'm saying, put that energy inside you. And that's the simplest way to look at it before it even became what y'all like to call primordial deities or whatever. Like, before it even had an option to say, I'm here, I'm alive, you know what I'm saying, I'm a being. That's what was going on. It was going through all the changes, all the characteristic changes, all that was happening through the process. So some of those processes, because of the heightened characteristic trait, and you can see this relevant in people today. Which people are more emotional? Which people don't like to listen to nothing? Which people think everything is happening? They always think, and they always in their head, and da-da-da-da. Like, that is a sign. Everything is dilutional. It dilutes down to a smaller version of its relevant self. That's just how light is. And for the most part, how you keep getting this repeat of the creation in the flesh. So you start seeing this dynamic, and then it's tested because you don't know this. You don't know these things. You don't know where your characteristics come from. You don't know, you know what I'm saying, how this came into existence. You don't know none of that. You just feeling it, and then you want to defend something that you don't know you're defending, which is self. You know what I mean? So all praises to the Most High. The Almighty don't make mistakes, but in the same retrospect, you got people that have mistakenly understood the Almighty. Period. That's why everybody keep running to I like to call the ceiling and the floor concept. It's where you are stable and you can stand and your feet can feel the ground, and where you can touch the ceiling and you know that's where the headboard was, or you know that's where the top was. That reality doesn't base off Almighty though. That based off your reality, the fact of flesh. There is scientific laws and cardinal laws that exist past those potentials. But you don't know that. You don't know that. You're only based off what makes you stable before you got to go into survival mode. That's for every single human being in existence, every animal in existence, seriously. So that's how you know you weighing most of your options basically off of a survival mode. That's why you choose to fight for survival aspects other than knowing that you're based off almighty energy. You know what I'm saying? That reigns supreme to you. You can't make a decision off no stability. You can't make a decision off nothing covering your head. You can't make a decision off there's no ground under your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't show you how to be stable from an almighty perspective without those concepts of reality. So you're always basing it out of the fact that you're not almighty. And then that reigns supreme in everybody's mind. So then everybody follows this concept. I can't see it. It got to be real. That's not true. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us prove it in every single notion. I got this from nothing. Thin air. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you know? Because I know. That's how I know. And it's accurate. It was 11:55 on the clock when I said that. So that's the value, yo. That's how it really is. All praises to the Most High. If you're going to really do this, that's what you got to walk towards. That's what you got to get into, and you got to see what that feel like. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us was privy to lose stuff and lose people that we had investments in or belief in. You know what I'm saying? Structure around things that should have been playing a role in your life, and it hasn't, and you had nothing else to lean on but the Almighty. You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of energy. Me purposely, I had no choice. I've been leaning on the Almighty since I was born, since I came out the womb. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I had to lean on that was truth. And I was able to see treachery since I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Before I understood what it was, I'm watching it take place, and people are like, just deal with it, telling me that as a youth in my one digits. You know what I'm saying? And when you got that going on, you ain't got nothing else to cry to but the Almighty. And then divine is giving you this comfort, this energy that feels like a cool wind that wraps your body just to make you feel good. Because what else you gonna get? That pain is so relevant at the moment. That's all the universe hears, the pain being echoed off of you. And the only way it can make you feel better is to take it completely away. Whatever's making you feel bad, whatever is going through your nervous system making you feel like that, because the communication is not, it's not a balance. So it hears your authentic cry. You know what I'm saying? It hears your authentic cry. That's why most individuals who deal with that off energy that's not really in tune with the divine, that's why it's mostly based off lies, because there's no authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be authentic. You can't be authentic. You can't be authentic and a liar. It just don't work. You can't be an authentic liar. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it just don't. Though that's like an oxymoron. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best version of yourself with a clean face lie. They go, look at this motherfucker right here. Especially people who know you, they'll be able to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how the game is gonna really change, in that as a benefit, right? It's gonna change for everybody. Like, you'll be the person who was cool with people who are not like that, but they say a lot of things against people, and you're gonna get a chance to watch that. You're gonna be like, wow, I'm actually cool with people that's like this. What does that say about me? What does that say about me attracting particular energies like that? You're going to have the opportunity to check yourself. You're going to be your biggest critic. Go back and watch the joint I premiered last night and showing you how to grow your authenticity. You know what I'm saying? How to grow your divine essence and what that really means. You know what I'm saying? Like, Almighty is the way. There's good and bad, and then it's the way of the Almighty. That's the pyramid. It's good and bad, and then it's the way of the Almighty. And what's crazy is the head point of that pyramid is dead center. So yin and yang will be at the base. So you finding a road in between the both of that, the yin and yang, just to get to the Almighty. You see what I'm saying? The Almighty sits in the middle, just like the road sits in the middle of the yin and yang. So you gotta find that balance out of both of those. You ain't supposed to be happy off the good or too mad at the bad. You ain't supposed to be like, oh, this was great. No, you're supposed to find that centerpiece. When you get that centerpiece, you start unlocking shit that neither good or bad can unlock. That's a fact. A big fact. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't even understand this knowledge. They don't have a chance to, because most of the dynamics they came through was based off being deprived so much of bad that when you got a little good, you just reveled in it, and divine seemed fit for that because it was nourishing. That's nature. That's to nurture. So a lot of our ancestors, a lot of the older teachers right now, they be talking, they not wrong. That's the time they came from. All that oppression they went through, all people holding them back, they never having nothing, and then they got to struggle through the mentality to find out how they going to do for their children and stuff like that. Yeah, they would have killed your ass. For real, they would have did you dirty because they came from that rough shit. You know what I'm saying? They would have did you dirty, and they didn't have a right and wrong button. It was just, fuck it. This is how it's going to go, and I'm going to take the consequence that come with it. You see how that sound? Almighty, you don't deal with the consequences of man. You deal with the consequences of the Almighty. Man is not your authority. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to tell you that, though. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep saying, oh, you're wrong. And as soon as you start waking up the energies and stuff like that, you start doing the right thing. Like, you don't need authority. You don't need, like, the actual authority that's physically around here to govern your life. And then you start making decisions. Without that, you start glitching the whole reality, because it's like, wait, I don't need you to step in. We can handle this shit on our own. So what does that do for them? They don't have a place to do none of that shit at. They don't got no office no more. They don't need you signing papers and doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? We can govern ourselves under the guise of the Almighty. So ain't no good and bad in that. That's just you and the Almighty, and you following the ways of the Almighty, period. ... End of sentence. You know what I'm saying? But that's the whole thing. Like, that's what they're afraid of, that everybody getting on the same mentality and being able to make decisions based off that instead of being based off what the system has to say, what the system calls right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand that, then you in good standing with the creator of all things. And even the hierarchy of the physical creator that they call God, yeah, you shaking him up too, because he like, wait a minute, I can't manipulate. No, because they ain't even listening to you no more. They about to go to the energy that created you. So you kind of walk past a lot of things, like all these little groups that they be wanting to hold on to, about following us and all this other shit. They need you to give them attention. Just like a female getting dressed with a tight dress on and the perfume and the hair done. They need you to look at them in order for that to be real. Just think about it. You got sexy and you went out in the street and nobody gave you no attention. You'll think you wasted your time. You'd be like, yo, I did all this for nothing. Nobody even looked at me. Nobody even spoke to me. You'd be in the house crying, thinking you ugly and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's that type of energy. So they get a jolt of energy off the fact that they can take your attention from the fact that you were created by the Almighty. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand that, then you understand your authority is the Almighty. Then you understand you really don't have to serve how everybody else serve in the world. You could just follow what the Almighty is telling you. But you have to learn to listen to that first thought. And if you slip off that, something's gonna happen to you small. Like you ever get smacked on your hand when you was in school and you did something small? Well, it'll be like you have a thought in your head, and you ain't supposed to be having those doubt thoughts or whatever. You mess around and hit your pinky toe, like, shit, I hit my toe. Stop thinking the way you thinking it. You know what I'm saying? You done bumped your head on the corner. Stop thinking the way you thinking and stop with the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Almighty is just what it is. It's Almighty. And once you start realizing that, The less you move and you let Almighty take place, the guise of failure is not based off the human assumption of the value. And that's what you see everywhere. You see people trying to tell you how to do magic. You see people trying to tell you this is going to happen if you don't do this, and tell you this. That's because that's how many people don't follow the authority of the Almighty. You're too busy cross-referencing the physical capabilities of life and faulty with spirituality. And how you going to do that if spirituality came from the Almighty? Make it make sense. So that means spirituality is a base of the Almighty. It's not based off faulty. So how are we sitting here talking about you can fail and this can happen, but that's one and the same? Come on, man, make it make sense. That's why you be knowing when you listen to people that they not really dealing with the Almighty, because they over there talking about how shit gonna fail and you need to stop doing this and they can access you this if you doing this. You smoking, they can stop. You ain't stopping shit. You can think what you want. Oh, they gonna burn some candles. It's gonna reflect the moon, and they ain't stopping nothing. What you're doing is you showing the universe what your authority is. Look at it in a different way. If you look at it like people have power and they're out here trying to do stuff, then what's happening is you're choosing to see that as more powerful than the Almighty. So, of course, if they're looking at it like that and you start looking at it like that, then you're following that dynamic. What you understand and what you start comprehending is, no, the Almighty energy is supreme. So I have to look at it from that perception. Even if you think you're doing something, it don't even matter, because you know what run this show? Almighty. We can keep going back to that in any circumstance. You heard? So with that being said, all praises to the Most High. Stop falling victim to what people saying they're doing because they sound scary or they look scary or they talk loud or their imagination is based off negativity and that's what they plan. Don't get mixed up in none of that. You give it to the Almighty at everything, every circumstance. Give it to the Almighty, no matter what's shaking. All praises to the Almighty, and watch divine show you, because you chose divine over that. Watch divine show you that Almighty energy. You gotta learn patience so you can see that. You dig what I'm saying? So don't even get mixed up in the value. Like, people gonna be butthurt because they keep choosing shit that ain't got nothing to do with their creation. You know what I'm saying? That's like you running to the neighbor house to get help, knowing that you about to get your ass cut for skipping school. Oh, Miss So-and-so, will you help us? No, baby, you gotta go on home and get that ass cutting. Your mama waiting on you. Go home and get that ass cut. You know, your daddy was looking for you. Can I stay over for a little while? No, baby, you gotta go home. They say you cut school. Go and get that ass cut. You know what you did wrong. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gotta tell you nothing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you still and you know you're not out there doing, let them talk. Let them say what they want. Just stay still. It's Almighty energy. It don't matter what nobody say. You know? Don't matter. So with that being said, you know, I ain't even come to drop a whole bunch on you. I just came to drop this little jewel real quick. It's about to rain, but I'm chilling. Excuse me. Just know Almighty do love you. He love everything that's standing in the Almighty energy. Can't recognize you if you're standing in anything other than that. You know what I'm saying? So supreme afternoon. I ain't gonna hold you. Just trying to show you something. NAGA the wise.